let's move on. Hey, the issue with Munster Republicans put in the paper
He's
an
trying to get me in
ad.
trouble. He's trying to get me in trouble.
I think it's a real issue because
What's that?
people want to know, how this, what are the, basically the Munster-Hammond relations going forward. And the Munster
What do you think?
well, hold on a second. Let's give people some depth here. The Munster Republicans, weekend before the elections, put in an ad that has been considered controversial by many, that some are reading that, hey, you better vote for Munster Republicans or it'll turn into Hammond.
Munster Democrats will turn Munster into Hammond.
And
what would your home be worth if it was in Hammond? That was what it said, almost word for word.
And so a lot of folks in Hammond are upset about that, and obviously you're one of them. And the day after the election, when emotions were very raw, I mean, you basically said, hey, you know what? Hammond has to come to us for water. They got to come to us for sewer. I mean, Munster has to come to Hammond for sewer and water, and made some innuendos that it could be rough sledding on the Munster-Hammond relations going forward. What do you feel? How do you feel now, 10 days after?
The same. I'm not happy at all. I think that it's low class, low rent. I think that if I would, and I brought it up on your show that day, I said, can you imagine if I campaigned on a theme that said, if George Janik is elected, Hammond's going to turn into Gary? What would your home be worth if it was in Gary? I guarantee you the Times would have taken me to task for that. WJOB would have taken me to task for that. Post-Tribune would have taken me to task for that. And it would have been unwise. It's just low class. I mean, these people in Munster that made this decision to run this ad hold themselves up like they're better than everybody. I love Hammond. I love living here. I would never live in Munster. Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't like the attitude. That attitude is why I would never live in Munster. That attitude right there. That's exactly why I would never move to that town. And I'll be honest with you, Jim, I'm not a friend. They have to deal with me for 4 years.
Now, part of the issue is that Munster Republicans put that ad in the paper, and
I want to know who made that decision.
Why does that matter?
It matters because maybe some people got dragged into it not knowing what the ad was going to say.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like Dave Schaefer and I have a great relationship. I always thought we did. And we do business together on NERPC. We travel together. I mean, he's a nice man. I'm a nice man. And then I see him, a friend of mine, I thought, in an ad that's slamming the city. I've been mayor for 8 years. The city that I live in, my kids go to school in, you own a business in. And I'm thinking to myself, did Dave know that was going in? You know, Mike Mellon and I are friends. I called him. He said, Mayor, I had nothing to do with it. And I believe him because Mike is not running again. So I'm sure he's not approving the political ads. I'm like, who made this decision? I see John, his ad looks exactly like the ads that are running with Munster Republicans. Did John put it together? I don't know. But I tell you, Jim, it's disrespectful to Hammond. You know, Hammond sells Munster water at basically 50 cents per 1,000 gallons. And then Munster charges Munster residents $3 per 1,000 gallons. They mark our water up 6 times and they sell it to you. And that's how they get money. And then they say the Hammond model and Hammond's this and Hammond's that. We charge our residents 50 cents for water, Jim. You get charged $3 for water. The Hammond model works. I mean, I am frustrated with Munster. I am. And I'm still frustrated. It's a couple weeks later.
Now, we did have Mike Mellon in here and Dave Nellums on this week, and they said, we just want to move forward.
Of course. They have to, because they know what they could do math.
All right, there it is. I just wanted to reiterate, where things were.
Listen, the guy's going to call me and tell me I'm whining again. I have to protect the city of Hammond. The city of Hammond was slandered in an ad from Munster Republicans. They won, by the way, obviously a very successful ad campaign on their part. Congratulations, guys. You did a great job.